When Life is Strange released in 2015, it was a miracle of a game that surpassed expectations. By the time Life is Strange 2 came around, Donut's criticisms of the writing in their previous work was taken to heart, and delivered an even more heartfelt story about two brothers against the world, now tackling immigration, racism, and growing up. Why is it important to mention these games? Well, because Lost Records wouldn't exist without them. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this is Donut's best work yet. I am Andres Place, and welcome to my review of Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Nostalgia done right is hard to find. To properly distill it into its purest form, it's not enough to just call out a few recognizable names or places from an era. It needs to dig deep and recall in the eyes of the viewer not only what they remember of a memory, but also how it made them feel. To this end, story-heavy video games have to use subtle cues in hopes of evoking this elusive emotion. If they can deliver a passionate narrative next to such yearning, it all but positions them as a must-play. Donut has always specialized in capturing a moment in time, thrusting you alongside its starry-eyed characters. Fine-tuned to a fault, its trademark playstyle has finally evolved into Lost Records Bloom and Rage. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and this game feels like the conclusion of said journey. Divided into two episodes dubbed Tape 1 Bloom and Tape 2 Rage out April 15, this new IP recounts two periods in the life of Swan Holloway as a teenager in the summer of 1995, and 27 years later, in 2022, as unfinished business calls her back to a place she swore she'd never go back to. A film lover, she always takes her camcorder with her new friends Autumn, Nora, and Kat as she finds herself in the middle of an inexplicable mystery. First thing you'll notice is Lost Records' intoxicating visual style. Radiant colors in Velvet Cove's daytime, from the reflections on the lake to the sunlight brightening the face of each girl, makes you sense the warmth of their blooming relationship. Neon-filled lighting at night instills an unnerving feeling, making the girls' decisions erratic and prone to regret them the next day. Not to mention how real your VHS tapes look when playing them on screen. The camcorder is one of the key features of Lost Records Bloom and Rage. You will find yourself recording your surroundings more often than not because of the focus on creating memoirs that task you with filming different types of birds, your friends, and forgotten toys, among other things. And it is quite a lot of fun. The filters, rewinding, and zoom sound effects finish selling the idea of a camcorder better than any footage on YouTube could. To complete the many collectible memoirs, you would need, for example, to capture 10 recordings of various graffiti on the walls. Unlike many other video games where there are only 10 finite items specified in the world, Lost Records Bloom and Rage has a more relaxed approach. There are plenty of landmarks, graffiti, and poses that you can film your friends with, and not a strict way to do things. In that regard, the open-ended approach to actions feels right at home. What has a more tangible impact on the story are, of course, dialogue choices. Different lines can be unlocked at specific times, or you can choose to say nothing at all. Responses can also be accessed depending on where you look at and what you have said before. The tension created by a fraught conversation with a violent character makes interactions dynamic, if a bit nerve-wracking, and heavily affects your relationships. For instance, Swan can show her resolving key moments or stay silent and let others stand up for her. In either outcome, specific dialogue choices will result in diverting paths. What if she praised Autumn instead of Nora? Or Kat, in that same vein? It gives the impression infinite variables are standing before your eyes as the game unfolds, each with exciting possibilities that you will only carve out in your personal experience. Being reassuring, distant, or aggressive is all up to you. Having a dual timeline adds a clever mechanic in which your decisions retroactively influence each other. Alternating between a third and first person perspective from the 90s and 2022 storylines helps contrast how much things have changed. The commitment to authenticity is evident in Swan's body complexion, Nora's face acne like many teenagers her age suffered, or the way they speak, trying to pull off acting cool among their new friends, is so profoundly down to earth. Being a teenager, with all the dreams and doubts that come along, is about finding yourself, a place to call home, friends that become family, and a sense of belonging. Easy to say, hard to put yourself out there. Swan's constant self-deprecation is hurtful to see, but also encouraging when she comes out of her shell. Reminiscing at objects in the latter part of her life highlights how much growth she has seen since then. To no one's surprise, the musical curation is impeccable. After all, this is the studio that gave us Sid Matters. Dreamlike pop, 90s grunge, and uplifting ambient are the genres that accompany the girl's summer, making each cutscene infinitely more impactful, or the exploration as pleasant as can be. The developers know how powerful a fine melody at the right time can elevate the moment. Never missing a step, each of the songs, both licensed and created for the game, feed the narrative beats so well that taking them on your playlists long after the credits roll is expected. Inspired by artists like Alanis Morissette, Bikini Kill, and Slater Kinney, the work of iconic musicians shaped Lost Records' Bloom and Rage in more than just the music. The Riot Girl feminist movement is deeply coded into these characters. Swan, Kat, Autumn, and Nora all have a bone to pick with the world, a defiant statement to normalize their anger against a society that prefers them silenced. I also have to mention how great the attention to detail is. The sound design is so full-bodied that playing with headphones is basically required. Each voice, taking into account the exceptional performances, is rich to the point that every break, gasp, or intonation goes a long way to express their feelings. Although playing with speakers is feasible, the nuances of the cadence and how they speak can be lost otherwise. All items that you can grab and inspect make their respective sound effects as you move them around. Candy wrappers, soda cans, and cassette tapes are all painstakingly recreated to respond to your keen eye. It would be easy to say that these mechanics established from their previous work on Life is Strange is a rethreading of it, but this time around it feels so snappy. It is clear they were meticulous about going above and beyond what they had done before. At times, you will believe the game was made for you with the amount of references that were present in the lives of so many of us. If you were a 90s kid, expect to find yourself vividly reliving your own experiences during that time, as the amount of classic artifacts of the era such as Tamagotchis, Furbies, or sticky hand toys will throw you into a dizzy state of how precise the callbacks are. The result, achieved both by extensive research and first-hand accounts, is a teen dream that anybody who lived in that era will cherish dearly. The structure of a fascinating thriller boils down to how well it drip-feeds you snippets of revelations to captivate you until it holds you within its grasp, and Lost Records handles this expertly. The tonality ebbs and flows, shifting from euphoric to perturbing, successfully tightening its grasp on you as secrets are slowly uncovered, while the summer of our lives facade fades away and the sobering truth rears its head. Without the baggage of a long-running franchise, Lost Records' Bloom and Rage is a fresh, riveting mystery that flourishes due to its emotional storytelling. However, this is only tape 1, and the way to see how this tale concludes will be agonizing. Considering the care put into all facets of the game, I have no doubt believing it will stick the landing, because it does not only recapture the magic of Don't Not's lightning in a bottle, but it enhances it in every way. Thank you for watching.